Good day everyone, this is Alvin again from the Philippines and welcome to my top 10 best in national costume for Miss Grand International 2021. So before we officially begin the countdown of the best in national costume for Miss Grand International, let me just say that the show that was streamed earlier was definitely one of the best national costume presentations that we have. I mean, I am so happy that we were able to witness, and I've actually posted this on my Instagram, that I'm so thankful that the organization is very generous in giving so much time to the ladies to present themselves, to showcase their country's culture and tradition through their costumes. Amazing staging, amazing production, and the execution of these candidates were superb as well. So kudos to the organization. This is how you produce an amazing show. So good job to the entire Miss Grand International organization. And it's very, very difficult to pick top 10 best in national costumes because it all boils down now on which do we like most personally, because I have listed down 25 costumes, I believe, and it took me about an hour to finally narrow it down to my final 10, but I'm very happy with my final 10. So let's see how many similar favorites do we have on the list, but let's begin the countdown because I'm already taking too much of your time. So here are my top 10 best in national costumes, starting with number 10, CUBA. Of all costumes which portrays deities, queens, or goddesses, this is definitely one of my favorites. She definitely embodies it with how stunning she looked in her costume and with how beautiful the costume was made. What truly made this performance remarkable was her excellent execution. Just by looking at her, I don't see a candidate wearing a costume. I see her as a real-life goddess. My number 9 goes to Hong Kong. This is such a super good costume, and thank goodness that the costume perfectly fits the personality of Miss Hong Kong. If this is how she'll sell street foods in this costume, it's definitely going to be a big hit. And what's even funnier is that after the show, there was a clip where all of the ladies were on stage showcasing their national costumes while Miss Hong Kong was behind eating all the food that she had on those costumes. So that was very funny. I hope you've seen that video. If you wanted to see that, someone just shared it to me on my Instagram, and then I shared it as well on my stories. So just follow me on my Instagram so that you'll be able to see it. It's super funny. I loved her very much. Number 8 goes to Nigeria. This is such an elegant costume. It definitely screams African culture. I love the elegant piece around the neck. I love the fringes behind it. But what truly fascinated me was her execution. I mean, I can only imagine how challenging it is to walk in her way with that piece of costume around her neck. Truly commendable. Number 7 goes to Myanmar. I mean, this costume is made from rattan, but she looked super elegant and super expensive in it. I am quite familiar with rattan because we have it as well in our country, but I am amazed at every detail of the costume, from the neck piece, from the neck piece, the way the outfit was made. I also love the elegant jar-like item that she's holding. Well done for the costume, because it truly emphasized one of the important products of their country, and how it was made just showed pure artistry. So bravo to the team. Number 6 goes to CURACAO. Using windmills of CURACAO as an inspiration is such a genius move. At first look, I was already amazed by the wings of the windmills and how it looked. I am a little bit on the fence when it comes to the choice of dress. I believe it could have been better, but what truly made me wow was when those windmills started turning. I would put this in a much higher placement if the windmill was turning from the very time she made an entrance until the very end. Number 5 goes to Mexico. I have always been amazed by Mexican culture, especially with the colorful creatures that are in it. The way this costume was made was a perfect representation of it. I love how the snake was made and was decorated perfectly to make it look like as if it was attached to her. I also love the movements that she made because the attached snake was just moving along with her movements, which showed the durability of that piece of art. Truly, truly beautiful costume. My number 4 goes to Honduras. I am so happy to see Honduras doing excellently in this costume round. Hands down to this costume, because just by looking at every detail of this piece already showed that this costume took so much time to make and definitely took artistic minds to make that possible. So bravo to the entire team as well. And on a close-up, the details just made me wow. I mean, I'm a huge fan of intricate details for the costume, and this costume just made me fall in love with how beautifully and well crafted the details are attached to it. And what's even more impressive is that she carried the costume as if it weighs like a feather. So good job to the candidate as well from Honduras. Number 3 goes to Malaysia. What an impressive costume this is. The movable part of her costume was just unbelievable. I have already seen the picture before the show and I was truly impressed when I saw it. Honestly, if they only made that movable piece a part of her costume rather than just carrying it on stage, this would have been one of the best of all times. But I just deducted a few points simply because I'm not sure if I don't know. It's just a part of her. I just wish it was attached together with her rather than just simply carrying it on stage. But still, it was still a part of it, so I just considered it anyway. But in an overall look, definitely impressive. Number 2 goes to Ecuador. Ecuador just did it again when it comes to craftsmanship and execution. At first, I was like, okay, nothing new, kind of expected. But what really made me wow was her first placement of the mask behind her head. I truly love that. I would prefer to see it that way rather than just holding it. And there are cases that it kind of looked distracting, but the way they did that was impressive. So additional points on that already. Also, have you seen how big the costume was? Aside from what's on the back, there are also pieces of costume behind at the side of her legs. But the way she did her dance and execution was truly, truly commendable. I am also in love with her face and the overall look of the costume. It feels like it respectfully depicts the culture that they wanted to showcase. So good job to Ecuador once again. Kind of reminded me of Mara Topic, where she perfectly executed the costume. But to me, my choice for the best in national costume for Miss Grand International 2021 goes to Vietnam. It's definitely saved the best for last for sure. Vietnam's costume is called Blue Angel, and there's so many points that Vietnam earned for me when this was executed. First of all, it acknowledges the frontliners in this pandemic, which was inspiring, realistic, and something that we can all relate. And the headpiece, which truly screamed Vietnamese culture, was perfectly paired with what seems like a medical outfit. So very good combination. I love the addition of the wings as well, and adding lights to it gives a very futuristic and modern vibe, gives a new twist to the costume. And I also love the very symbolic staff of Hermes behind her, the golden one, if you saw that, because it truly that symbol is very, very important in the field of medicine. And most importantly, the heart, if you notice that as well, which truly showed the Vietnamese flag. I just love her execution of the costume and how she looked in that costume. But what really made me want this costume to win as best in national costume is how they incorporated very meaningful details into this costume. So bravo to Team Vietnam. So these are my top 10 best in national costume for Miss Grand International 2021. I'm sure we all have different lists, especially with how many amazing costumes we've seen this year. So I'm very excited to know your thoughts about my ranking, and I would also love to know your ranking as well, especially with the list that didn't make on my list but made in yours, in your personal list. I would love to know that. So don't forget to leave your comments below Don't forget to give a thumbs up and share the video as well. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe because you'll be seeing more of these videos in the future. For now, thank you very much and have a wonderful day from the Philippines.